Hello, everybody. It's Friday. We're at the end of the month and at the end of the week. And boy, I tell you what, I was getting a little bit of writer's cramp putting our fishing report together for today. I got lots of exciting things to talk to you about as we head into the weekend. So stay right where you're at, and I will be right back.
Set sail for an unforgettable Outer Banks adventure with Aficionado Charters. Perfect for families, beginners, and seasoned anglers alike, their experienced crew makes every trip fun and exciting. With top-tier fishing gear and advanced safety technology, you'll head offshore in search of incredible catches like tuna, mahi-mahi, sailfish, and the oh-so-coveted marlin. As one of the longest operating charter boats on the East Coast, they know where the fish are biting. Plan your next adventure today at aficionadocharters.com and get ready to reel in the fun. At Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway, not only can you get stocked up with all the bait, tackle, and amenities necessary to fish, but you can also be your own captain. That's right. At Fishing Unlimited, you can rent one of their spacious pontoon boats to go fishing, crabbing, dolphin watching, or just to cruise the Roanoke Sound. It's family fun at its finest. Half-day and full-day rentals are available. Be your own captain at Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway.
So down in Hatteras, our offshore fleet down there picked out a decent day on blackfin tuna. They had a very few dolphin fish or mahi, whatever you want to call them. And I saw at least one wahoo caught in the catches down there, but not really. It's a little bit on the scrappy side, I would call it, but still they made a decent day. No guarantees in offshore fishing. You can get skunked or you can come in with 600 pounds of fish. You just never know when you're fishing on the Outer Banks. They had some boats fishing around the inlet, and they had good catches of bluefish and sheephead. I did not hear of a drum bite around the inlet, but the Ocracoke and Hatteras Inlet have been having some really good drum fishing around the inlets. I think it's just a matter of who was out there looking for them yesterday. Then we move on to Oregon Inlet and the offshore fleet there. It is very hit and miss. And when it's hit, it's very, very good. And when it's missed, it's very, very slow. For instance, Tuesday, pretty slow fishing. Really had to pick to come up with a bite. Wednesday, great yellowfin tuna fishing. A lot of boats had their box full of 40-pound, 50-pound yellowfin tuna. And then yesterday, it seemed like there was a few tuna caught. And that's the nature of the beast this time of year. When you book a boat, we have a thing called a walk-up charter. That's some people that are visiting on the Outer Banks. They walk up behind your boat, see your great catch, see you with 15 big tuna, and they book your boat for the next day. And I don't blame them. I would do the same thing. But you never want to follow up a great day of fishing when you book a boat. It's always better luck to follow up a slow day of fishing. Anyway, so it's hot and cold, mostly yellowfin tuna, a few mahi, and not much else really to report. No exotic stuff that I know of. So we will move on to where the meat of the fishing report is today, and we'll start with the surf report. And there's a nice mix of species. The species list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We start out down in Ocracoke. Captain B.J. Swain, who has the No Slack charter boat, was actually out pompano fishing, caught a 3-pound, 3-ounce pompano. That's a nice one. And so that's the first pompano I've reported on this year. And then Ocracoke continues to catch bluefish. They continue to catch drum and sea mullet as well. We jump across Hatteras Inlet and get onto Hatteras Island, and there's been a nice mixed bite. And by the way, before we leave Ocracoke, at the end of today's report, I will give you the basic standings for the 2026 Ocracoke Invitational Surf Fishing Tournament. They had day one in the books. I'll get back to that in just a moment. But there's the same mix of species, which includes drum in all the size ranges, but mostly puppy drum now. Sea mullet. There's some black drum, there's some bluefish, and that's the long and short of it, other than a few shark. But the one thing that is a little bit different is now we're seeing north of Oregon Inlet start to pick up a little bit. There was some drum caught all the way up in Duck yesterday, up there on the north end of Dare County. And they have had a few others. There's been a few sea mullet and again some sharks. So everything is marching up the beach. We have a little bit of all of it. On the piers, I have a couple things to report. Avon Pier had some 10 to 12 pound bluefish. They had some 35-inch class red drum. They had a few sheephead. Rodanthe Pier also had some of those 35-inch class red drum. Jeanette's Pier, even they had a few red drum. So things are picking up. And the drum bite has been good. It's also good back in the sound. I'll get to that in a minute as well. But sheephead, bluefish, red drum, and a few sea mullet from Ocracoke to the Virginia state line pretty much right now. So we'll take a little break, and I'll come back and talk to you about the backcountry and give you the standings after day one in the Ocracoke Invitational Surf Fishing Tournament. So stay right there.
Ready to ride in style? At KDH Outer Banks Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at milepost 5.5 on the bypass in Kill Devil Hills, we're more than just a dealership. We're the island dealer that deals. Check out jaw-dropping deals on new and pre-owned Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler models. The island dealer that deals has the wheels you need and the deals you'll love. Check out our inventory at Outer Banks Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.com. KDH Outer Banks Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at milepost 5.5 on the bypass in Kill Devil Hills. We're the island dealer that deals.
So as far as backcountry fishing, to me, that's basically anything inside of the inlet or near the inlet all the way over to the western side of the Pamlico Sound, Bellhaven, Swan Quarter, Englehard, and right on down to the Neuse River. There is a good, big drum bite, and these are sows. They're the big ones. But you got to really know what you're doing. I keep saying this every day. Or you got to go with a really good guide who knows what they're doing, which is a great way to learn how to catch these big drum. So that's going on. I haven't heard of much else yesterday other than that drum bite. They're still catching a lot of catfish in our northern waters, and the trout bite hadn't really got started yet. I'll keep you posted when it does. So let's talk about the surf fishing tournament. Here are your top 5 teams. This is after the first 2 sessions. In other words, day one. Yesterday they fished a morning and an evening session. Today they'll do the same thing and wind things up, and we'll bring you those reports as well. But the Jersey Rod and Reelers are in first place with 234 points, well out in front of the second place team of the Surfside Anglers with 133 points. In third place, the Beach Drummers with 123 points. In fourth place, the Raisin Rods with 114 points. And then in fifth place, the Teach's Crew with 111 points. So second through fifth, very, very close. But first place is out in front by 100 points. That's going to be hard to make up for that tomorrow. But that's where we stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Jersey Rod and Reelers, Surfside Anglers, Beach Drummers, Raisin Rods, Teach's Crew. And you can go, just Google Ocracoke Invitational Surf Fishing Tournament, and they have their standings posted right there, and you can follow along as the action picks up again tomorrow. So that's all I have for you today in the fishing report. It was a lot to talk about, and that's a good thing. I hope you'll go out this weekend and do a little fishing. There's everything from small sea mullet and pan frying fish right up to these big drum. I do know that it's still a little bit turbulent in the surf. They're having to use the Sputnik type fishing sinkers to hold bottom a lot, and that makes it a little more challenging. But your local tackle shops will, number one, provide you with the local knowledge you're going to need about where to go. Number two, they're going to tell you how to rig up and get your best bet bait to get down on the beach and go fishing. They can do everything from sell you a license to handle all your bait and tackle needs, and we're grateful for local tackle shops. You'll get a lot more for your money when you add in the local knowledge part, which is what makes you produce fish. So go out and have a great day, because you're not going to catch them in the motel room. May the good Lord bless you richly.